Talkin Sex Live with Chet and Diane is recorded in front of a live audience. This show is for mature audiences only. Hello, and you are Talkin Sex Live with Chet and Diane. I am Chet.
I'm Diane.
And we are unlicensed sex therapists. We don't have any kind of schooling in this type of field of sexual health or relationship therapy. But we're a couple that has had a lot of sex and want to share our knowledge with the world. And so we're running live here on Caffeine TV. We're also podcast on YouTube and various podcast hosting sites. And we are joined by our awesome producer, Wells. How are you doing tonight, Wells?
Hi everyone. I'm good. How are you?
We're good. How is how's dating in the COVID life?
Well, it's just not happening.
Okay.
You know how some people are saying it's going to be a shot girl summer. I think it might be a dry boy summer over here.
Got it.
Yeah.
And we're also joined by an actual real therapist, Dr. Bexxx. How are you doing tonight, Dr. Bexxx?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, that is a wonderful shirt, by the way. Very sexy. And
thank you.
Yes, you got the very nice hair and very subtle lips. Look very nice. So, how's COVID quarantine life treating you, Dr. Bexxx?
It's good. You know, I feel like I've watched everything on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon TV. So now I just need a new streaming service to come out.
Oh, HBO Max. You got Stars. You got what do we also have? Cinemax. Yeah, they have some softcore stuff that we watch from here and there. Epics as well. Yeah. They have a lot of good sex shows on there that just talk about sex. Slut Ever on Hulu is a good one to watch if you're interested in other type of this whole field of sex and talking about sex. But yeah, is there any TV shows that you watch about sexual health, Dr. Bexxx there?
No, because I feel like I live it so much with my schooling and my marriage that sometimes I just want to leave it where it's at I don't want to have to engross myself with it on the screen. Yeah,
you know, you gotta mix. You gotta leave your work life alone and your personal life. Keep that separate. Diane and I, our life is this right here: having sex and educating other people about good sexual practices, staying safe, staying consensual, and also being sex positive. So. Speaking of which, Wells, do we actually have any type of callers on the old leaderboard tonight?
The phones are lighting up the switchboards. The first one we got here is Tim Gormley.
Tim Gormley.
Have a lot of intercourse, but now I need some pointers on how to meet women.
Got it. So you are Talkin Sex Live. I am Chet.
I'm Diane.
And I think we actually have a video caller here. Tim, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm Tim Gormley.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
You look like a happy individual. What can we help you with?
What's your question?
Well, normally, I really like to travel and go to other countries and stay in hostels and have people sign my Let's Go Europe and learn everything. And so I get to meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
I like to take some time off my job at the GameStop, and I go to all these other countries. And when I go to these other countries, I have so much sex.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
So it's like amazing because, you know, you're in the hostel and there are people there. And you say hi, and they say hi, and then you find a corner of the hostel, and, you know, things happen to me all the time.
Yeah,
like
Diane
that.
and I did that when we were at Dusseldorf, and then we went over to Dresden, and then we went up to Berlin, and each time we would stay in hostels, and we would have some great.
When I was in Berlin,
sex.
I saw the Berlin Wall, at least to a piece of it.
All right. So what's your question now? Are you having some problems now, or what's going on?
Well, you know, like for the past year, I haven't been able to travel. and I had to do all my
quarantine.
work at the GameStop remotely.
Got it.
So, but I hear like we're all going to get vaccinated like in the next, like week or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, maybe 2-3 months, but sure.
Okay. And so like, I'm like, what, getting started up again is going to be really difficult.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I wanted to know, what tips do you have so I can go, and like all the sex I was having all the time, like in all the hostels and in the cathedrals and at the, one time I was at this museum.
Cathedrals? You had sex inside of a cathedral?
Okay.
Okay,
All the time.
Sorry, all the time.
And I was at this museum and I was looking at the painting and I looked at the corner of a painting. Okay. And there was like a devil having sex with a woman in the painting.
Yeah, sex is all over in the Renaissance and whatnot. It was a very the Italian Renaissance culture was very.
It was pretty
active.
funny.
Yeah, so basically, you're trying to figure out what's the best way to meet women.
Well, there's online dating you can do.
Yeah, there's Wells actually has some experience with that. What kind of online sites are you on right now, Wells?
Well, let's see. There's Hinge if you want to be classy. There's Bumble if you like getting rejected. There's Tinder if you want to hook up more.
But even during COVID, is that something that's happening right now, or?
Oh, dating?
What?
Dating on the apps, or is that what you're asking?
Yeah, are people meeting up and having sex?
Well, I know friends of mine that are meeting up.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are vaccinated. Some people don't care anymore. They have COVID fatigue.
Okay. So like with the online, I find like for me that doesn't work as well. 'Cause like you list your interests and I say I like staying in hostels and finding stuff in my backpack and looking at Let's Go Europe and seeing what they recommend to go see.
Okay.
And those are like my interests. And I don't find like a lot of women think that, oh, Tim Gormley,
Got it. So you're trying to say that not a lot of people here in the U.S., regardless of being COVID or not, post-pandemic or in a pandemic or pre-pandemic, you have had no luck with women in...
Well, I mean, I have a lot of luck. I mean, come on. I mean, look. I mean, yeah. I mean, I bet... Yeah, totally.
But I mean, let's be honest. Have you had a lot of luck here in the U.S. or even abroad?
Oh, well.
Uh-oh.
I think.
Did we lose him? Did we lose Tim? Huh. Kind of cut out there. Well, let's turn it over to Dr. Bexxx there. What's some advice that you can give to Tim if he is still listening there?
Yeah, Tim, I hope you are listening. I'm not surprised that he slayed it so much in Europe. I mean, that American accent, like, just the panties are dropping left and right. I get that. I get that he got so lucky. And I think the key is to use where you are now and make it work for you. So why not go to a hostel now?
Exactly.
Yeah. If you're in California, find a hostel. Or go to Hollywood Boulevard and meet those foreigners. Let them come to you instead of you going to them, Let them chase you a little bit because they'll find you.
Yeah, and I mean, what better place for a foreign woman to meet an American guy than the place that they're actually staying and sleeping in? I mean, that's a brilliant idea. I was just thinking about maybe making something like a hostel, but and like simulating a foreign city. Maybe not go since. Where are you at, Tim? Are you in LA or where are you at?
I'm in Havertide, Maryland.
Okay, yeah, LA would be a little bit difficult for you.
But I went to LA. Well, I was like 13, and my aunt took me. And we saw the Chinese theater.
Yeah, that's right. The hostel's right down the street from there.
And I put my handprints in Johnny Depp's, and they were big.
Yeah, that is true. I would highly suggest let's see here. Maryland, we got Baltimore, you got DC. They probably have some hostels in those cities.
It's really interesting because, like I said, I love to travel, but whenever I travel, like all my travel is like always like overseas. Like
Yeah.
you go overseas, and I never thought about, hey, there's stuff in America.
Yeah,
Or-
Tim, I mean, if you think about it, you could just go to a different state and all of a sudden you're a foreigner there.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean,
It's a new place for
Like
you.
I could go to Delaware.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's completely different. I've never been to Delaware.
It's
and-
so different. I mean, I've been to Delaware, like I've been the beach. And do you know the president's from Delaware?
That's right. Biden is that's his home. He lives in Delaware. Yeah.
And you have like chickens are
I
there.
love
course.
chickens.
Yeah.
And-
Biden is a chicken fan.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first state. So
Wait. I'm curious.
yeah.
Have you had many partners? It seems like you're a little unsure about
What?
this.
Oh, I had so many like I have one section of my Let's Go Europe where like I have people sign it who are like friends that I meet. You you spend a day and then you go to the museums and you go to the cathedrals.
Yeah.
And then they say, hey, if you ever need a place to stay in whatever city they are from, you can crash with me, dude sickle. They
That's
write
great.
that.
That's great.
And then I have another section that's like even bigger. It's like all the girls I hook up with over there. It's like so many names in there. So
Okay.
many.
Okay.
So I had to buy a second Let's Go Europe just because I ran out of space
Wow.
in the
Wow.
first one because it was so full with so many names.
I get it. Good for you. I mean,
It's like crazy.
Europe's a very sex forward, sex
very
positive
open.
country.
It's like so
Or not
crazy.
country,
Like
continent, sorry.
one time.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I was on this ferry and it was going to some island,
Mm-hmm.
and there were these two German people on it, and
Yeah.
they were like a couple, and they were young and really good looking, and they took off all their clothes and changed right there in front of everyone on the ferry.
Wow.
Oh.
Well,
That was
that's
crazy.
Germany for you. They have a different type of culture. Prostitution's
that's-
legal there. It's
Wait, what? What?
prostitution's legal in Germany.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Same thing with Amsterdam.
What?
Yeah, it's legal in Amsterdam.
So is cocaine in Amsterdam.
Yeah. So, but I mean, people are studying
That's
about
that's
the
not
brothels.
in the That's not in Let's Go Europe.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe you should give that a shot next time you're over there. But for now,
Oh yeah, I would. I said they'll be so busy.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
try going to Nevada. Prostitution is not legal in Las Vegas, but the rest of Nevada,
The
prostitution.
What?
Bunny Ranch.
Yeah, the prostitution is legal in the state of Nevada, except for in the city of Las Vegas, which seems kind of ironic because it's the Sin City, but whatever. So maybe try to find a hostel in Reno or
Well, I
Carson
mean,
City?
I would if I were like the kind of person who would have to pay for it, but
oh, I'm just saying if you
You
want
know,
to be a
'cause
sex
it's like
positive.
someone who travels so much.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I'm
you're
like-
all
Save
over
that
the
money
place.
for travel.
It's like-
You're all over
yeah.
the place.
Yeah, because like you could like buy a plane ticket.
Yeah, you could, or just drive because you're in the U.S.
Speaking of, Tim, a plane ticket, you could, hop on a plane and get into LAX and just hang out there.
Yeah.
And you could meet so many foreigners there also.
Mm-hmm.
But like the airport, is it like is there a hostel there? At
Not
the airport?
in the airport, no.
There's hotels nearby.
Oh, I can't afford hotels. I work at a GameStop.
That's right.
Oh, no.
Well, if you would have invested in their stock a month or two ago, you'd be a very rich man right now. But
Well, I do it for the purity of the experience, and I wouldn't want to sully it by gambling with the stocks.
got
Oh,
it.
okay.
I understand. Well, Tim, I hope that we have pointed you in the right direction and gave you some ideas for trying to date post COVID quarantine?
I'm going to go to Delaware when this is all over.
Right, good for you. That is a fine. I cannot name one hostel. Okay.
Oh, music's
Tim
coming on.
There
Gormley.
it goes.
It's like the Oscars
Yeah.
you're going to.
Oh no, it's the play 'em off music. Oh wow, that was unexpected, but hey, that's okay. Wow. So have you ever been to a hostel, Dr. Bexx or Wells?
I have not.
Yeah.
I've always been interested, but I never really had that chance to go backpack in Europe. So I've never got to experience that. And now at this point, it's like, I like showers.
Yeah. I stayed in one in Seattle, and it was as well as when Diane and I were in Europe and Germany. But the ones here in the U.S., they I don't know, it's just interesting because this was before I met Diane. In the U.S., at least, the one in Seattle, men slept in one area and women slept in another area. So. I wasn't really into any kind of male on male stuff, and that's okay. But so it was just a bunch of bunk beds with people sleeping in them, and then that was about it. But Germany was a whole nother deal there. Wells, I mean, what would you say to somebody who is coming off of the quarantine, the pandemic? What do you feel has changed, and what do you feel you can maybe kind of benefit from being quarantined? I don't know. What do you feel in the whole dating perspective since?
The thing that I think people need to do now is embrace the awkwardness.
Yes.
Because I think that there's a lot of fear among single people about being awkward because none of us have been dating and we don't know how to start on that. And I think it's something that it may feel wrong at first and people just need to kind of push through that initial awkward stage. That's my 2 cents anyway.
I like that. I like that a lot. Once people become vaccinated again, Diane and I are going to start reaching out to other females to join us in the bedroom like we had prior to the start of this whole quarantine. So yeah, we have to start looking into that as well. Hopefully people are willing to come in and have some fun with us. But so is there another caller coming in at all, or is there another video caller probably? Or
Joe and Nicole Martin are going to be doing a video call. They are newlyweds who have been forced to live at home, and they're having some issues with privacy. Let's bring them in.
Okay. Hello, you're talking Sex Live with Chet and Diane. I am Chet.
I'm Diane.
And is this Nicole and was it Joe?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Hey, can y'all hear us?
We can. We can.
Hi.
Look at you guys.
We're on the internet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I was telling Nicole that this is the show, and I figure we'd get on here and talk a little bit about it. She's kind of nervous about talking about what we're going through, but I think it's normal.
No problem. So you were saying that you newly married and that you have moved it back in with your parents due to some hard time due to the whole quarantine COVID situation, the pandemic. And,
right.
And you guys, you can't have sex in those bunk beds back there, or?
Well, it ain't so much that we can't, so much as Nicole gets a little bit upset. Well, first of all, this is my childhood room.
Oh,
okay.
You must be in your 30s, and your parents have not changed your childhood room from.
Well, they did change it a little bit. My mom's been doing crafts in here. She put a sewing machine in.
Oh, no, it looks really cool. I like that room a lot. I like those lights in it.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, you were a really cool kid back in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah, I grew up, early 90s, but, my brother used to live in here before me, but he left off into boarding school, so then I moved into the room, and that's when I got bunk beds.
Got it.
Oh.
Got it. No,
After he left, you got bunk beds.
You got bunk beds.
Okay.
Not bad. So, do you guys sleep in the same bed, or just on top of each other, or?
It's a little crowded for a twin.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nicole. Tell them about everything. And
Well, it's just hard, because we're both tall, and so when we try to get up on that tall bunk bed, there's not a lot of space, and then of course, if you're trying to be intimate, you know, it's just not a lot of space up there.
Yeah.
And I just wish that we could just upgrade to a bigger bed. I mean, ideally, we wouldn't even be living here, but at least just having our own space. His mom is always busting in. It's just it's making it really difficult.
Have you thought about locking the door?
Yeah, do you have a lock on the door?
What?
Well, yes, we have thought about a lot, but I'll be honest with you. You know, I kind of get turned on a little bit knowing that my folks are home because.
Oh.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
You know what,
some exhibitionism
Chet, you know
there.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I do. It's a fetish. It's called exhibitionism. You like to have. It's the thrill that people are watching. I mean, that's why so many people are on Pornhub. They just want other people to acknowledge them. Nicole, is this something that you're into, or are you not?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't want to do anything when his parents are home. I don't want them to see me naked. I don't want them to hear the noises or anything.
Can I just say that, you know, she's from the big city, you know, so she's not into that kind of stuff. You know, she's from Bentonville.
I
You
don't
know, that's where Walmart's from.
That is. Where are you guys at again?
Well, we moved back from the big city. That's where I met her from.
Okay, the
But
big
I grew
city,
up
but
in-
what's the little city? I don't know what
Oh.
are you guys in St. Louis? I think that's a Cardinals jersey, maybe.
Oh, no, I'm a big fan of the Redbirds, but Bentonville, Arkansas is where I got my
that's
job
what you
at.
said. That's right. Sorry about that.
And that's where I met Nicole at.
Yeah,
I was working for
there.
the Walmart.
the Walmart. So
Well, I worked for a shipping
Bentonville
company.
is the big city. So what's the small city?
Oh, Dangerfield is where I grew up. And that's where we're at right now.
You're in Dangerfield,
Oh.
and you moved out
Dangerfield,
of
Texas.
Bentonville. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, that's great.
Why don't we turn it to Dr. Bexxx?
Dr.
and see
Bexxx.
what her opinion is.
Yeah.
on
What do you
this.
feel about this?
Well, first of all, I applaud you two for being able to communicate about this. You know, I think it's great that you, even though this is kind of like something to be embarrassed about, you guys are able to talk about your sex life like this. And I think there's definitely ways you can improve it. The first thing I think you guys need to do is kind of find a strategy. Like, you guys know the game Clue? You know that game? So think of your sex life like the game Clue. So wait until your parents are out of the house, and then all of a sudden it can be Joe did it with his penis in the drawing room.
Yeah.
Or Nicole did it with her mouth in the library.
That's
Oh.
pretty sexy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
the other
mean-
tip is easy clothing that can easily be removed. Or Nicole, wear a skirt. You know, easy access
Yeah.
is the key.
Mhm.
One of those
But they-
nursing bras
Mhm.
that you just rip open.
Like
Yeah,
in this bra.
with the clasp.
Yeah, one of those bras.
Yeah. Now that's another thing, though. You know, see, Joe's mama has been on me like flies on shit to try to produce some babies.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm.
The pressure is
typical
just
grandchildren thing.
Mhm.
Well, I was just gonna say, all the more reason to maybe give her a wink and be like, why don't you two go like run some errands so that you and Joe have some alone time,
Mhm.
because she's gonna want grandkids, and
Mhm.
and if she's out of the
She
house,
does.
we'll feel more relaxed to make that happen.
And I don't know if you guys have any type of money. I mean, a lot of people got the stimulus checks. Just I'm sure hotel rooms aren't that expensive. You can always get a hotel room, or if you don't want to leave the house, because it seems like, Joe, you get turned on by having sex in your childhood home, you could have your parents stay in a hotel. Like, I'm going to give you this gift. You're going to stay in this nice hotel, pay $100, a couple $100, and have them stay there while you guys have sex all over the room. All over the house. And then maybe
I'm gonna do that.
Nicole, if you want to go ahead and turn Joe on, just tell him that at some point in the night your mom's going to forget the keys to something. I don't know, she's going to need to come back to the house, and that will get his motor going. And even though it might not be true, I don't know if that's something that you guys are into.
I love that a lot. Hey,
a good idea.
Chet, Diane, I just want to say that, this, for me, this is just an opportunity to try and make the best out of a bad situation.
No, I get
You know
it.
what I'm saying? Because I have a bad, we lost our jobs during the during this pandemic,
Yeah.
and we had to move back home. We had only been married for a year, and I'm just telling Nicole, this is an opportunity for us to build our relationship. I mean, so what that, like, I prefer to do it, in my parents' house, it's a turn on, you know?
I get it. No, it's I mean, having sex in like a forbidden location,
It's pretty hot.
it is hot
We've
because
done
I
that
mean,
when we were hiking.
yeah, it's like the forbidden is always a turn on, especially for men. Like if if a woman tells a guy that she doesn't like to give blowjobs, then he like subconsciously that's what he wants, but he's not going to push that on her. But that's just what he wants. But meanwhile, if that's all a guy got was blowjobs, and a girl like didn't want to have anal sex, like that's all
any sex.
What was that?
Or any sex.
Or any sex. Like if a guy got blowjobs all the time and he never had just normal sex, he would want normal sex. It's
all about variety.
It is about variety. So the forbidden, trying to have sex someplace that you're not supposed to. That's what dogging is, having sex in public where other people can come and watch you. It's a form of exhibitionism. It's all part of that realm right there.
Can I say one thing? For the whole like forbidden, you guys should get in the car, you know, drive to the Walmart parking lot, do it there.
Yeah,
like that could be exciting.
You know, that'd be one way to stick it back to the man after losing my job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
those parking lots are huge too. So
that would bring back some memories for sure.
That's right. I mean, you feel like kids again. It's just like you get to play that whole like role playing as teenagers, sneaking out of the parents' house to have sex. That's something that a lot of people are into. I would highly recommend doing that as well. Wells, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, Chet, you know, I've been trying to like in my own way, and I know it makes her feel uncomfortable because, you know, my folks are retired and, you know, they're always around. They're always, you know, nagging on her. You know, she thinks it's just my parents. But trying to, you know, spice it up and like at night, like convincing her to sneak out, you know, like I used to do my little brother. And try to get her to go get a cookie out of the cookie jar.
Yeah, or just like if you have a tree fort still, I mean, your room's immaculate right there. It's very well preserved. I'm sure that any type of fort that you had in the backyard is probably also very well preserved. Try having sex out there. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Then, you know, we wouldn't bump into his mom's elliptical, which is in the corner, and the craft corner. It's just very crowded in here. And so that might be a way to solve that, and then I wouldn't have to look at all of his mom's stuff, which makes me feel uncomfortable. You know?
That's right.
I'm just hoping pretty soon we won't even have to be here. You know, once I get another stimulus, you know, I think stimulus. Once I get another one, I think I'll be able to move out, and hopefully we'll be able to move back out to Bentonville.
There you go. Well, you know, I hope that you guys can find that opportunity. Variety is the spice of life, not only in just normal life, but also in sex life. Vary it up. I highly recommend changing things up. If
switch positions,
switch locations, switch which
outfits too.
There you go. Role playing.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, Diane, because I was asking Nicole. Well, you remember when I asked you to put on my mom's dress?
I remember that. Yes.
So,
I remember.
You know, I was kind of hoping that maybe she would do that, but
I mean, I have boundaries too. That just crosses the line.
That's a whole nother question there.
Yes, it is.
Diving into putting on your mother's dress, but. Well, I hope, Joe and Nicole, that we have helped you out, gave you enough suggestions there. Hope you get back on your feet. Things will turn back around. You're in good hands. And I hope we stay sex positive there, my friends.
You too. Love y'all.
Thank you.
Bye, Dr. Bexxx. Bye, Producer Wells.
Have a good night, guys. Wow, I didn't have the wrap it up music on that one there. So, but
we don't wrap it up.
Oh, they're still there. All right. Hold on here. Okay, so Wells, do you what's the craziest place you've had sex at?
I am very vanilla, so it would be a Taco Bell restroom.
That's a pretty crazy. I mean, I wouldn't say crazy. I don't want to put crazy in any type of sex talk here. But that's not vanilla. I would
No.
say that's kind of wild. That's sexy. Taco Bell.
It was a younger Wells Starnacky.
There you go. Well, good for you. Dr. Bexx, what about you? What's the most interesting place that you've had sex?
I don't know. It's hard to narrow it down, but I would probably say like an alleyway.
Oh, wow.
wow.
A specific alleyway at a specific city, or just if you
In
remember?
Los Angeles. I think it was a residential. I don't remember. I was drinking quite a bit, but it was a residential area, so we could have gotten caught by anyone living there.
Wow.
Nice.
Were you? Oh, so it was one of those residential alleyways. Those aren't as bad. Everybody thinks alleyways. They think of cities that are like with steam coming up and dumpsters and stuff.
Yeah, that's
The
what
re-
I was picturing.
Yeah, the residential alleyways in LA, especially if like you get into like Encino or whatever, where you drive by the houses and you're like, hey, that house has no driveway. What's going on? Well, they're all behind. The garages are behind the houses. It's just the style. And they have alleyways back there, and they're pretty clean and nice. So I can imagine that being not bad. Were you standing up or were you laying down? What was going on with that?
Standing up with my face up against a brick wall.
Wow. What would you say are like kind of craziest spot that we've had sex at? I mean, we've already talked about when we were scuba diving.
Oh yes.
That was insane. There is now that we mentioned this, Dr. Bexx, we actually the last time you were on the show, you challenged us to have
no sex for a
no
week.
sex. Oh, that was the challenge. I thought it was just find an activity that we could do where we could connect and
Without
not have
sex for a week. I thought it
Was
was
it
no
a
sex
week?
for a week.
I guess we failed at that. I thought it
She
was just.
remembers. I
thought it
remember.
was,
You don't remember.
Men don't remember. But we had an activity. We went ziplining, and we did not have sex. But
Weren't there other people there?
there was
though?
other
There
people
were.
there. There was other people there.
Does that
so.
count?
Well,
Dr. Bexx's account.
I don't know. What do you think?
It does count, but I was hoping that you guys could go a week without sex, just to focus on your relationship. That was
Got it.
more
We got to
the
day
emotional
4.
part. Not because the physical part is incredible and that's great, and you guys always have that. But if you take a week and just focus on each other in romantic ways, not sexual ways, it could just help build your emotional love for each other.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we've gone 4-5 days.
4 or 5, not a week yet.
Not a week. Does that count? 5 days? That's like a work week.
It's close,
It's
but I'd
close?
be interested to see if you guys could go a week.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, we would like to average out our sexual encounters to 1.25 a day.
That's about right.
That's about right. Just to average it out, because some days there'll be like 3 times, some days there'll be 0, 2, most days 1. But yeah, so it's interesting to go. Can I masturbate? Is that okay?
Yeah, does that count?
Can
Can we-
Diane masturbate?
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's
Can-
we can go a week then.
Can we
That's
mutually
that's
masturbate?
different.
Can we masturbate next to each other?
I don't trust you two not to put.
It's
the
true.
penis in
We've
the vagina.
we've done
Yeah.
a mutual masturbation where we're next to each other, but
That
we
just
end up
ends up
just
in
having
having
sex. It's
Yes.
like, well, your tongue feels better on my genitals, so how about you just go ahead and do that? So do we have another call there, Wells? Has somebody else come on in?
We do not have somebody else calling in at the moment.
Okay, there is. Let me just check here. So, Wells, how long have you gone without having sex?
Like, I was in a relationship,
Or
or
just
Yeah,
in
in a
general?
relationship.
Well, I mean, once you became sexual active, how long have you gone without having sex?
I think I was abstinent there for a period of about 2 years, a little over 2 years.
2 years. Wow. I mean, I don't know. I masturbate probably
Every day.
every day.
Average.
And well, I mean, it's hard to masturbate when you have sex, you know.
Well, if
When
we're
if
not
you
having
can-
sex.
if we're not having
then
sex,
we're-
yeah,
it's
but
different.
when we're having sex every day, it's probably I still masturbate like maybe once a week or so.
Okay.
Yeah. Wells, do you feel that you masturbate every day, or are you somebody who doesn't feel that you need to do it every day?
Um, I do it every day unless I come home and I'm too tired.
Yeah,
I
you
think
know.
that's normal for
Yeah.
men.
Yeah, that is pretty normal. I mean, masturbation is perfectly okay, even as if you're in a relationship. If you're
It's
in
good to masturbate too, because
Yeah.
then you know what you want, and then you can tell your partner what you like.
Exactly, and
Applies a little bit more to women.
It's what?
say that again.
I think that applies a little bit more to women with masturbation because the penis is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, you just jerk it, but I mean, you can still explore things. You know, it's like, well, for guys, you're just like, I need to come, but you can still enjoy it. Just a slow masturbation. You can enjoy.
Have you ever done like a slow masturbation? Like, I'm gonna take my time with myself.
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
imagine like a mouth on my penis.
All right.
You know, there's certain ways you can hold your penis, like left-handed upside down. You can do like this motion, or this motion. You can do the rotate like that, with the slow. You can vary it up with different lubes or soap. I don't. Dr. Bexx, do you have any type of
Ways
advice?
to masturbate?
I don't know. Just I don't know. What yeah, do you?
Well, I do want to say back to you two, the fact that you do masturbate in front of each other is such a great gift to share, because I know that a lot of couples are embarrassed about masturbating, and I also know that a lot of, and it's mostly women, feel intimidated when they find out that their partner masturbates because they feel like somehow they're not good enough. But that's not the case at all.
Yeah, and men are the same way. That like oh, a female,
yes, they are.
like my partner's not orgasming with me, she has to go masturbate. Well, it's like it's like 20%. Well, I'm sorry, 20% of women can orgasm without any type of finger play on their clitoris when they're
Is
actually.
that right, Dr. Bex?
And 20% of women only come from penetration. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 20 to 30%. That is.
It's roughly that. Yes.
It's roughly that. I mean, it's hard to actually like gauge what that statistic is, but just your normal sampling of statistical pools there. But yeah, so it's good for both men and women to actually masturbate and then tell their partner what they enjoy. If you're a man, there's no shame in go ahead and touching your anus. Like, that's fine. There's nothing gay about it. There is a lot of nerve endings in there. If you are comfortable with your sexual masculinity, that I feel that I'm attracted to women, and there's nothing wrong with touching your anus. So, I don't know if we have any other callers coming in there. Let's see here. Do you see anything on the leaderboards there? Is it leaderboards or reader boards or phone boards? What do we say? Switchboard. I like switchboard. I don't know. Leaderboard. What is a leaderboard?
Isn't that something to do with sports?
Yeah, that's what I always want to say.
That would be golf.
Golf. The leaderboard.
Sport.
Yeah. Well, sports. Okay. Well, you know what? Wells, do you have any questions for Dr. Bexx? Diane, do you have any questions for Dr. Bexx?
I guess we gotta go a week without sex.
A week without sex.
Mhm.
Well,
I think you guys can do it, and I think it would be really good for you.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you're whatever feelings you're having while you're going through this week, maybe keep a little journal about it.
Okay.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and write those down.
We've kept sex journals where we have sex when
Dr. Bex, I have a question.
There you go.
So with men who are sexually attracted or engage in sex with trans women, do you think that means they're somewhere on the LGBTQ spectrum, or do you think they could still be completely heterosexual?
I don't believe that anyone is completely heterosexual.
That's right.
I think we all are sort of on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So a male that decides to be with a transgender is still a male that likes, women, even if this was a man first. But there's still a part of him, like there's a part in everyone that's attracted to the same sex that we are. And it's just that we don't talk about it, and that's why there's homophobia in the world, is because people are scared of it.
Exactly.
A lot of men think that if they were to find another man attractive, then all of a sudden they're gay. When really we're just appreciating the human form, and we are made alike, men and women. We're not that different. And there's nothing wrong with being attracted to someone of the same sex. It doesn't mean that you're gay. It just means that we're all just on the spectrum, and we can easily, and it's not set, we can easily slide from one end to the other depending on the person that we meet.
Yeah, there's the term asexual, or pansexual, where pansexuals are just attractive to
Anybody, I believe.
Anybody's personality. They're just attracted to personalities. Just, and that's just what true love is. It's like you got to find yourself, and like I am an attractive man.
I'm an attractive man.
I can find men attractive. I appreciate a nice body, but when I picture myself with a man, somebody who looks like with me, or somebody who I find that like this guy has a nice chiseled, like, he's very well defined, big arms, but if I picture myself like in his arms and kissing me, like that doesn't do anything for me. That doesn't turn me on.
Right. I feel the same way.
Yeah, but like I can appreciate that, and I can say that he has a very symmetrical face. I can understand. I can understand. He's a beautiful man, but like I don't.
You can all appreciate a good penis too. Just like that is a nice penis.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything with it, but aesthetically, it's a nice penis.
But so you're saying you find penises attractive? Like you see a penis that's like that. I appreciate that penis.
I guess, when you see a penis of a certain shape and girth and length, you can just appreciate that is a nice penis. In the same way that if someone has nice glutes, you can say, hey, you've been doing a lot of squats.
See, when I see another penis, I don't feel that way, but that's just me. I mean, I think vaginas and vulvas are very aesthetically appealing. They turn me on, and that's just, the heterosexual part of me. And I guess it's for me being around so much oral sex, and I get so intimate with the vulva that I want to, whenever I see one, especially Diane's is very beautiful, I want to put my mouth on it. And that's just how, after years of experience with that, that's what I feel. I'm very turned on to breasts. I'm very turned on to women's, asses and anuses. That's just because of my the eroticism that comes around it. There's something erotic about another man in the room, but it's just for me personally, and this is just me, and everybody should be comfortable with themselves. I wouldn't want a man penetrating me, or I wouldn't want I wouldn't want to have oral sex with a man, either giving or receiving. But that's just me, and that's my place on the sexual spectrum. That's how I feel.
What if it was Jim Nantz?
I don't know who that is.
Who's that?
The CBS football announcer?
All right.
Huh.
Yeah, it's. You know what? If you find Jim Nantz attractive, then there's nothing wrong with that.
He has a very strong baritone voice.
Okay, that's all right. Diane's attracted to women. What most attracts you to women there, Diane?
It depends on the woman.
Yeah. Is it just their body? Is it their personality?
I think it's a bit of both. Like Margot Robbie, she's a businesswoman and she's super hot.
She's very attractive.
But she's also smart because she
has a very defined chin.
company.
Yeah.
So she's
Yeah.
not stupid either. So there's that intelligence factor too.
Exactly.
With beauty, it's like,
Dr. Bexxx, have you ever been with a woman before?
I have not.
Okay.
No, I've been strictly with men my whole life.
Okay. Do you find women attractive, or?
Yes, very much so. I definitely appreciate a woman, but I have yet to have a threesome or anything like that, and that's my own confidence level of my own insecurities.
Yeah.
And I would feel probably insecure to have sex with another woman. I think I would be comparing myself with her the whole time.
Oh.
And that being said, I've yet to meet another woman that I am heavily attracted to, both physically and emotionally.
Got it. What would you say to your husband if he were to if he was like hinting that he would want another female in the bedroom?
I would say, let's wait till your 70th birthday. We'll go to a Hooters. We'll pick up one of those waitresses. And
70th.
we'll bring her home.
Wow. All right. That is the
offer is
correct
there
answer.
in the
Yeah,
future.
that is correct.
I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying right now.
Good for you. And it's like some people aren't comfortable with that, and you just have to be open with your partner and discuss that. And there's certain things that like if you just have to respect your partner's boundaries, and if they say that they don't want to do that, you have to weigh whether or not is this going to really make me happy that I have to have this sexual thing in my life, or is being with this person that I care about and I love more important than that thing that's going to turn me on. And so there's other ways to go about fulfilling that desire and fantasy. It's always like we were talking earlier today, the show, the forbidden. Like once you get that forbidden thing, it might not be as erotic. Like anal sex, like it really isn't as pleasurable as vagina, at least in. What was that? Well, isn't it? Well, the structure of a vagina is made to the Kegel muscles are made to clamp around the penis, and so it is very pleasurable. But the colon is really not made to do that, and so once that gets kind of worked on and loosened up, it kind of, I mean, it doesn't feel it's good. It's more of the erotic feeling in your brain that's telling you that this is hot. This is something I don't get to do. And so this is something that's more forbidden. And so that's what's the whole erotic feeling behind that. And that's what's going to go ahead and make you ejaculate. But I mean, if you were a guy and you had anal sex all the time, like I feel, I don't know, It's kind of a toss-up. It's to each his own, I guess. Whoever feel it's all in the eyes of the beholder there. So, Dr. Bexxx, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, I think you're right. I feel like it's the forbidden. Ever since we were all little and we kind of learned about sex, and it was, in America, it's like hush hush and it's no, and you see a dirty magazine and it's it's naughty, it's forbidden. So we kind of have sex as something that is exciting to us and also can be forbidden until we're of age and doing it. But in those early years, we build this fantasy all around sex on how magical it could be. Like I remember when I was little, I thought that like if a guy were to just touch my breast, it would be the best feeling ever. Or if a penis was near my vagina, then of course I would have an orgasm, not knowing that there's
instantly
instant orgasm.
Yeah.
Right. And there, that's not how it is.
Yeah.
There's work involved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
It'd be
work
nice
involved.
if that's how it was.
Yeah.
I
A lot
know.
of work.
I'm like, I can get stuff done.
Yeah.
Do dishes,
It's just as
laundry.
easy
Got it
as a
all done in
man.
5 minutes.
3 minutes, 30 seconds. So, Wells, hopefully we answered your question there. We went off on a large tangent, but
Yes, we
that's
did.
okay. So I think we'll go ahead and end it there. Diane and I have this nice comfy bed that we want to go ahead and get busy on. I hope everybody else had a good night. Please stay sex positive and have a good sexual relations for all. We love you guys. Have a good night.